Hi guys, we made it. I should stop dancing. I do a very horrible job at it. Happy New Year, guys. I'm so excited for 2022. I'm so excited for all the opportunities that we're going to have in 2022, all the conversations, the hard conversations, the impactful and insightful conversations that we are going to have on this channel in 2022. Thank you so much for sticking around since last year. Welcome to 2022 and thank you for 1,700 subscribers. I am so excited. Hi guys, my name is Giftogu. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. I'm a Lagos-based YouTuber. I make videos about lifestyle, travel and freelancing. And if this is your first time coming across my channel or see my fine face, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. There's nothing like New Year, New Me in this Lagos, Nigeria, because construction is currently ongoing in the next building. There are a lot of workers and everywhere's noisy. And it's not like it's a new thing. I mean, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that noise is a part of this channel, because I live in the city center and I don't have a studio in my house. I don't have that kind of money, okay? So construction is ongoing. Noise is a major part of this YouTube channel. So deal with it. Today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about the top 5 or even top 7 financial mistakes of the year 2021. I know that you guys have seen towards the end of the year, a lot of people were sharing their wins, which is not bad. I mean, I also shared my wins for the year 2021. Let's not pretend that it was a totally bad year, okay? It was not a totally bad year. For me, it was a good year. I got featured on Upwork. I became a top rated seller on Upwork. I got an amazing remote job with an ad agency in California. I read my exams, I passed. I also read another one that failed, cried my eyes out, got depressed. My heart experienced a roller coaster of emotions. Okay, a lot of things actually happened last year, but that's not what this video is about. Last year I made some financial decisions that were not good for myself and my finances at all. You guys already know that I live alone, so there are some decisions that I made last year that were not sensible, that were not healthy, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. When I was growing up, I didn't really have like a lot of people talking to me about finances, and now that I'm 25 years old and I understand a little bit about my finances, I've decided to, as much as I can, share tips regarding finances with you guys. Hopefully with this video you will not make some of the mistakes that I made last year. I'm actually putting myself out here and telling you guys some of the mistakes that I made last year, so that I will not make these mistakes this year. Remembering that I've made this video, I have called myself out for my bad behavior, for my bad spending habits. I will not make this kind of mistakes this year. I'll be very conscious to make sure that 2022 I'll make smart financial decisions. So if you are someone who's struggling with your finances or struggling with bad financial decisions, you need to watch my own video so that we can hold ourselves accountable. Watch my video now to see some of the financial decisions that I made, so that we can actually hold ourselves accountable. Or the first financial mistake that I made last year was buying food. Guys, I know this sounds like weird, like how is buying food a bad financial decision? Like, how is that? Like, I totally understand what you're talking about, and I know why you're wondering how buying food is a bad financial decision. But if we're being honest, buying food is a horrible financial decision that I made last year, and it cost me a whole lot of money. Okay, look, I buy food like 5 times in a week. Like 5 times in a week. I don't like to cook. I have a whole gas cooker here with 4 burners. I have a refrigerator in my house. So explain to me why I am buying food 5 times in a week. Why am I spending that much money? And not just any type of food. I patronize Sweet Sensation. So I go to Sweet Sensation, I buy food a lot. And food in Sweet Sensation is nothing less than, you cannot get maybe like, well, I don't used to go there and spend 1,000, maybe like maybe like 2K plus. And then I started this whole healthy living thing. So for some months last year, I stopped taking soda. For those months when I'm actually buying the fresh fruit juices, I buy just of 700 naira, 1k. So I'm actually living Sweet Sensation, spending over 4,000 naira every time I go to buy food there. And if Sweet Sensation is like the only thing that I spend money on regarding food, we'll understand. But no, I had a lot of cravings, and for a large part of 2021, I actually made sure that I satisfied most of my cravings. If I'm craving small chops, I am definitely getting it. If I want to eat meat pie, I am buying it. If I feel like taking ice cream, I am definitely getting it for myself. If I feel like drinking any kind of juice, I am ordering it. Anything that I wanted last year, for the majority of the time, I actually went out and I bought it. Because why? I had the money. And guess who suffered for that? Me. Because I'm working on a major project which is taking a large chunk of my finances. But before I started that project, I had to check my financial decisions for the year. And I noticed that food takes a large chunk of my money. In a month, in a week, I spent over 6,000 or more than that buying food. So I think from November 2021, I decided that it's enough. I'm no longer going to buy food anymore. I'm going to start making food. So what I started doing was that I would go to the market with around like 5,000, 6,000. I will buy 1.5 kilo of chicken or 2 kilos of chicken, depending on what I'm cooking. If I'm cooking only soup and stew, I'll buy 1.5. If I'm cooking 2 soups and 1 stew, I will buy 2 kilos of chicken. And then I will buy fresh tomatoes, pepper, just basically things for making stew and for making soup and for making like a bunch of like other stuff. I started to take my cooking seriously. I started cooking food. So I would make food, I would make porridge, I would boil beans, I would make stew, I would make 2 pots of soup, I would put it in my freezer. And guess what happened? I noticed that I was saving significantly. I was saving so much money. So imagine the amount of money that I spent from January to beginning of November when I was still buying food. So if you stay alone and you're working from home too, I think it makes a lot of sense. You want to save more money this year. I think it makes a lot of sense for you to start cooking. I don't like cooking. If you know me well, you know that I'm not the greatest fan of cooking. I do not like cooking. If you tell me cook or maybe sweep from Lagos to London, I will take broom. I will carry my broom and packer and sweep from Lagos to London instead of cooking. That's how much I do not enjoy cooking. But when I checked my account balance and it was not looking good, I'm like, this year we're cooking, okay? So that was the number 2 financial decision that I made last year that cost me a lot of money was Uber. It was Uber. I made that decision even till the end of last year. My sister sent me on an errand. She had, if you watched my my Christmas in Lagos video, I think I started a video talking about running an errand for my sister. So a friend came back to Nigeria and I had to like send some stuff to her friend to take back to her. And I also made a dress for my friend Hope for her birthday, and I had to send the dress to her husband in Lekki. I used one Uber that day. The Uber took me from my house to Lekki. There was traffic. I don't used to check those things. Do you understand? I don't see traffic. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. So I went to Lekki with the Uber driver. There was quite traffic there. So he took me to my sister's friend's place. It took a while for her to pick up her phone. When she finally picked up her phone, she finally found us. So we waited. I was in an Uber waiting. We got to Lekki, we waited for her to come out. She took about like 15 minutes before coming out. So I gave her the stuff. And after that, we moved to my friend's husband's house in Lekki. I gave him the dress. This Uber driver still, and then, okay, he ended the trip there. The trip was like 7,300. So I tipped him 7,200. So I tipped the Uber driver 800 naira. And I told him to take me home. So he took me home from Lekki to my house, and that was like 6k. So in that day, I spent 14,000 naira. I spent 14,000 naira that day, and that's not even the worst of it. That was on a Friday. That was the 24th of December 2021. The next day was Christmas Day, and I had like a show, this P-Square show to attend. I still took Uber from, I went to Loveling's place on Christmas Day. So from Loveling's place, I took an Uber from her house to Lekki. And I did not enter a public transport. When I was coming back, I came back the next day, that was on the 26th morning. I also took an Uber. So all the shows that I went for, that I covered, that I worked for last December, during the Christmas period or during the festive period, I did not take bus. And I wish, so I said when I went to Hope's place and my sister's friend's place, I spent 14,000 naira that day on just Uber alone. And that's not all the places that I went to in December, I Ubered it. Like I was like, I Ubered it. The worst part is that church, my house to church is a walkable distance. It's like 10 minutes. It's a 10 minutes walk. I take Uber. Last year I took Uber to church, like a lot. My house to the church is a 10 minutes walk, and I was taking Uber. And that's not the annoying part. The annoying part is that it's not like it's a bad thing to tip the drivers, because I'm quite a generous tipper. Like, as someone who has grown up in lack, I know what it means to not have, and just like to like extend a hand of generosity to people that don't have so much. I'm not saying that Uber drivers don't have so much, but I just like to tip. Do you understand? So I take Uber to church. Church is 10 minutes walk from my house. And if I enter a bike, it's 100 naira. If I enter a keke, it's 50 naira. And then I take Uber to church. How? And I was just taking Uber to places that I can just enter a public transport. And no, it's not about the COVID. It's not about anything. Like, it's not about it. It's just, I just want this comfort. I don't want anybody to stress me. Which is stupid. I mean, take Uber sometimes, but it's not that every time that you want to go somewhere, you're Ubering. Even to places that you don't have to Uber to, you are Ubering. That's a bad financial decision. Except you buy your own car, you cannot be Ubering everywhere in Lagos. You cannot be taking taxi hailing services. You cannot be patronizing them all the time. No matter how much you earn, buy your own car if you don't want to enter a public transport. Okay? You cannot. The third thing that actually cost me a lot of money this last year in 2021 was taking jobs when the client is looking problematic. So you can see from the beginning that this client is going to be a problem for you. The client is asking you questions like, what if I don't like the job when you're done with it? How can I cancel it? And then you still go ahead to work for this kind of client. This cost me a lot of money this year, my people. It cost me a lot of money last year, a whole lot of money last year, and I'm not about to repeat that same mistake this year. I had this client, I saw this client's review. It was bad. It was horrible. I don't know what I usually think when I'm working, when I see this kind of thing. Because later on, when it does not end well, I'll start thinking, I'll be like, is everything all right? Because this was clearly a bad deal. And I still took it. So you want to work with this client that you've seen that has so many bad reviews. People are leaving 1 star for this client. They're saying, don't work with this person. And then you'll be like, maybe they did not just do the job the right way. Maybe I am the savior that this job needs. Maybe shut up, shush. No, it cost me a lot of money because some of the jobs got cancelled. Sometimes the client did not want to pay. Even the last job that I did, I think Upwork actually had to pay me because the client did not pay. And it was very clear that this client was a problem from the beginning. But I was just like, my case is different. My case is different. Oh, my case is different. It's different with me. It's not the same with me. It's going to be different with me. Shh. It's not different with you. Nothing is going to be different with you. It's the same thing. Okay? So when you see that a client is already giving you problem, bad vibes from the beginning, the client is looking problematic, don't go and work for the client because you will not even probably get your money. Somebody is basically owing me for a work that I've done. It's over 400,000 naira for a job that I did for the person. And from the beginning, it was looking like this deal go cut. The fourth financial mistake that I made in 2021 was doing monthly subscriptions instead of annual subscriptions. Usually for subscriptions like Grammarly, we do the annual subscription. It's cheaper. Do you understand? It's cheaper than doing the monthly subscription. I think you get to save like 40%. I'm not really good in mathematics, but you get to save a lot of money when you do the when you do the annual subscription. And if you do the monthly subscription and you calculate it annually, you see that you are actually cruising at a loss. Okay, so not paying for annual subscriptions for some of the apps that I actually use cost me a lot. So if you want to pay for subscription, I'm somebody that invests heavily in subscriptions. The only subscription that I'm not paying for is my Audible. I'm using a friend's account. Okay, bites me. But every other thing that I have to subscribe to, I subscribe to it. But one thing that I've realized is that when you actually do it monthly instead of annually, you are actually losing out on a lot. Okay, so if you are the subscription type, you don't like looking for crook means to pay for stuff, you're not looking for the crack means to the crack way or the crook way to get a particular subscription, you know that it's always advisable to pay for stuff annually instead of paying for stuff monthly. So that was one of the things. That fifth financial decision that I made that was horrible for me last year was removing my investment. Okay, your girl got broke. Okay, it's not like I got broke though, but I think I needed money or something like that. So I bought Ethereum last year and Litecoin. I sold them all. And I'm supposed to hold on to it. I mean, that's what crypto is about, but I did not really understand the whole crypto market. And I mean, I needed this money, okay? So I sold it, and I really wish that I held on to those coins, because I know that crypto is like a big thing now. But one thing that I'm going to do this year is to learn crypto better. I don't just want to put in money in something that I don't really understand anymore. I know that I would have held on to those coins, but if I had better understanding of crypto and not just putting my money where it's trendy, I would understand that I was supposed to hold on to those coins more, but I did not hold on to those coins more, and it cost me money. So one thing that I'm trying to do this year is to learn first about any investment before I actually invest in what I want to invest in. Okay. Another mistake I made was not sticking to the list when I go shopping. I don't know how to emphasize the fact that you have to stick to the list when you are going shopping. It's important to stick to the list. I have a whole list when I'm going shopping, but I just see something that it's not on my list and I will actually buy it. So that kind of impulse buying is not good. I don't do that. I don't really buy random clothes and shoes. Anytime I'm buying like outfits and all of that, I make sure that I've budgeted it. I don't really buy random stuff, or like we buy stuff on credit or something like that. So I will not really put that there. But one thing that I know that I'm guilty of is impulse buying. I just like, I'm like, oh, I wrote this list. I'm supposed to spend 10,000 naira, and I'm coming out from the grocery store or the mall with a 20,000 naira receipt. Where did the remaining 10k come from? I just saw something that I like, a new cereal or something that I like. So impulse buying is not recommended in 2022. If you don't even write lists, please, like, you're making a big mistake. Just make a big mistake. Sorry. Make sure that you start writing lists before you go grocery shopping or any kind of shopping, and make sure you stick to the list. When you stick to the list, you notice that you're saving more money than when you're not sticking to the list at all. Guys, another horrible financial mistake that I made last year was it has to be not opening a domiciliary account. It cost me thousands of naira not opening a domiciliary account. And I know that you'll be like, how? Like, you earn in dollars, like what? First of all, my place of work, they don't pay me via a domiciliary account. There are other means of payment like Western Union. The other means of payment, actually, Western Union. There's this Access Bank Boss Revolution thing. There is TransferWise. No, not TransferWise actually. There is World Remit here, and there are a bunch of payment platforms that don't need you to have a domiciliary account. But as a freelancer, I need to have a domiciliary account. Why? Because PayPal does not actually work in Nigeria, and what works in Nigeria is Payoneer. So on Payoneer, you need to transfer the money from your Upwork account or your Fiverr account to your Payoneer account, and from your Payoneer account to your Nigerian either domiciliary bank account or Naira bank account. Because I did not have a domiciliary bank account, I have a Naira bank account. The money has to be transferred to my Naira bank account, and the rate is horrible. The rate is horrible. It's the worst thing that you have seen you've not seen anything like that. And if you have a domiciliary account, you will not have to be dealing with this bad rate. This year, getting a foreign account or a domiciliary account is top of my priority. I started one with Member Bank. I didn't finish the process because I was like, it's just like, I mean, how much is it? But when you calculate how much it is, and then maybe dollar is 5.85, because I know that on my dollar card on Flutterwave, one time I had to fund it to pay for something abroad. I bought dollar for 585. Meanwhile, when I'm withdrawing money from my Payoneer account to my GT account, it is 400 naira. 400 naira to $1, and then I'm buying dollar for 580. The math is not mathing. The math is not properly mathing. So one of the horrible financial mistakes that I made in my career, in my life last year, was basically not having a domiciliary account. If you want to get onto freelancing, if you want to start freelancing this year and you want to start making money in dollars, please endeavor to open a domiciliary account. It is extremely important. It is too important if you want to maximize your earnings, because I know that if I had a domiciliary account, I would have made more money, and you know, like, I would have used it to sort other things. Like, the bills in this house are not smiling, no. Like, before you know what's happening, there's rent to pay, there's gas bill, there is electricity bill, you need food, there's just a bunch of stuff. When you step out in Lagos, Nigeria, money has left your account, so there are a lot of things to pay for. So it's important, if you find a way to save money, make sure you use that, you ensure to just make sure that you use that particular way to save money as much as you can. Okay, open a domiciliary account. It's extremely important. If you want to start freelancing this year, it's not too late. Open a domiciliary account, and also buy my ebook, Earning Without Borders. It is actually the best guide to freelancing from Nigeria. As a top-rated freelancer on Upwork, who was even featured on Upwork, like, I'm the best person to listen to regarding this. I don't really talk about my book a lot, but it's important that you actually buy my book. It costs 8,999 naira, which is 9,000 naira, to get the book, and the information that you're going to get is vital. Don't come to my inbox to come and be asking me questions about freelancing. You're like, I want to be a freelancer, I want to know about freelancing. I have a book, please buy it. Everything about freelancing is in that book, from the definition of freelancing to everything you want to know about freelancing is in that book. So please buy the book. Don't ask me any question about freelancing. I have no answer for you. It's all in the book, okay? The last financial mistake that I made in 2021 was to listen to every sub story. I have mentioned this a lot. I am quite a compassionate person. I grew up in lack. I grew up with a single mom. Like, I'm not trying to tell you guys any sub story and all of that, but I grew up with a single mom, and it was really tough. Like, growing up, I know that I owed school fees a lot, okay? So I owed school fees a lot. I was that kid in my primary school that owed school fees, okay? That was sent home, fee drive thing, and all of that. So I was that kid, and my mom was like a single mom, struggling, blah blah blah, and all of that. I'm not really going to go into details right now, but because of the way that I grew up and how God has blessed me in my journey this period, I am quite compassionate and I'm quite generous. I like to give. But one thing I've noticed is that it's not every sub story you should respond to. Okay, it's not every sub story that you should respond to, because some people actually take advantage of your generosity and then just start using you. And that's one of the things that happened to me last year. I'm just like, okay, what's happening? Oh, you don't have this, you don't have this, take this, take that, take that. Not really minding how it's going to affect me. I'm just like, I just want it to be okay. I want it to be better. I'll be okay. I'll be able to sort myself out later and all of that. So I do not really like put myself into consideration, especially my finances. Like, yeah, I'm ready to help and all of that, but am I going to have money when I'm done, like, emptying my bank account for this person? And is this person actually worth, like, doing this thing for? Do you understand? And is this person grateful enough? Because one thing about me is that, yeah, I like to give, but I also like it when people are grateful. Do you understand? If you give me something, I will continue thanking you. You will shoot me. Do you understand? I will thank you so much that you will shoot me for what you've done. Like, you just need to give me a piece of information, and then you have like a long voice note of me giving you thanks, thanking you and all of that. My mom, like, I grew up not having a lot, and when I get anything, when anybody is generous enough or kind enough to help me with anything, I'm usually very grateful to them. So when I listening to every sub story was not really like nice last year, and not really prioritizing myself, and I'm going to do more of that this particular year. And another thing that I'm actually going to do is that I like when I give people something and all of that, like I really like people saying thank you. I don't know if it sounds weird or something, but like saying thank you just makes me want to do more instead of when you're not appreciative. I don't like people that are not appreciative enough, when you're just like okay, bye, or I don't know. I just like it when people are appreciative, but when I like give you something and then you are thankful and all of that. I like it when people are thankful. Do you understand? Because I'm a very grateful person. I'm always like, give me something and thank you very much, thank you for what you did, give me an information, I'm like, thank you so much for this information that you gave me, I really appreciate it, thank you so much, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't like it when people are not really grateful to people that help them. So last year I really listened to a lot of sub stories, guys. I think that's basically the financial mistake that I made in 2021, and this is 2022. This is the first day of 2022, but you've seen this video on the 5th of January 2022. So I hope that you can actually learn from my mistakes. I think the last one was not like a mistake like that though, because it's good, it's nice to be nice and all of that. It's nice to be nice. So and then people have actually helped me a lot. People have helped me a lot and all of that, not because I deserve it, but because like some people are good and all of that. Do you understand? So make sure that you help people as much as you want, as much as you can, as much as is in your capacity. Okay, as much as is in your capacity, just really help people, because things are actually hard out there. It's not an easy world. So help people as much as you can, and don't expect anything from anybody because you are helping the person, or do you understand? Just lower your expectations. Just help because you want to help. Do you understand? Just help as much as you can. It's actually a tough world out there. So if you are doing well, or you can actually afford to lend like a helping hand to 1 or 2 people, please, by every means, make sure that you do that this new year. And make sure you make financially smart decisions. Make a budget. I not mention like not making a budget, because I actually made a budget, but I did not stick to it. No, not that I didn't stick to it though. The majority of the financial goals that I had for first quarter and maybe second quarter, I actually ticked them. Just that more goals came up. And this bad lifestyle that I was living did not allow me to pursue those goals properly the way that I would have liked to. The way that I would have loved to, okay, because of the kind of lifestyle that I lived last year, it didn't allow me to pursue the new goals that I developed towards the middle of last year. So I don't want that for you. Just make sure you take your financial education seriously, help as much as you can, put in a lot of good energy into the world, and yeah, don't be buying food, okay? Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram at IamGiftWogu. And buy my ebook too. It's 9K and you can afford it, and it's a good financial decision. So buy it.